intricate relationships shifted. At various times, certain gods became preeminent over the others, including the sun god Ra, the creator god Amun, and the mother goddess Isis.
Okay, so the main three people, so-called three people, which are nothing but fallen angels. We have to get into that another time. That's a whole nother lesson in itself. These ain't nothing but fallen angels that went down with Satan, that are being worshipped as gods. Okay? And they were the sun god, Ra, the creator god, Amun, and the mother god, Isis. Now, my question to anybody that's rocking with this Egyptology stuff, how many prayers have you prayed to Isis? To Ra? To Amun? And if you have prayed to any of them, how many have been answered? Now, I can give you documentation and video proof of me praying in the name of Christ and blind eyes is open, people getting up, people they called dead coming alive, people that were sick no longer sick. Now, I can give you countless of my own ministry of people whose lives was changed in the name of Christ. Has Ra, has Amun, has Isis done anything for any of you? How many of you are praying to him on a daily basis, doing sacrifices to him, have any form of connection to him? And what has that done for our community? What has Isis done for the community? What has Ra done for the black and African American community in this country? Zero. We just got a bunch of people going around trying to look deep and trying to be something, connect to something because they don't know who they are. And please don't mistake that I am dissing it because I was once a part of it before Christ found me. So if you ask anybody that I went to Fayetteville State University with, you ask anybody, the people that we grew up with, and when I was 16, 17 here in Anson County, they would tell you, we was down with all of that. So it's not like I ain't never been a part of it. I was a part of it until Christ opened my eyes and gave me the truth of who I was. So don't think that I'm dissing. I'm telling you something I heard. I'm telling you something I know. And at the end of the day, all of this knowledge meant nothing. All of it did nothing. It was just knowledge. But we were rejecting a particular knowledge. All right? All right, go down here to 1991. We're gonna finish this guy, what's his name? Dwight York.
In 1991, he took his community to settle in upstate New York. Then he moved near the county seat of Evanston, Georgia, and Putnam County. His followers built an ancient Egypt-themed compound called Tamaray and changed their name to the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors. The Nuwaubian Nation or Nuwaubian Nation movement was a religious organization.
Founded
and led by Dwight York. York began finding.
Go down to the about 2000s.
By 2000s, the United Nuwaubian Nation of Moors had some 500 adherents. They drew thousands of visitors from Savior's Day, York's birthday. Adherence declined steeply after New York was convicted of numerous counts of child molestation and financing violations and was sentenced to 135 years in federal prison in 2004.
Yeah. So you got Dwight York that is responsible for what the French man. Let me go show you this picture again so everybody can see it. And we put these links in your into the box so you can see it. We're going to show you. This is the father of Egyptology. This is the father of Egyptology. And when Dwight York began to study all of these things that these Europeans was teaching, he began to spread this in America amongst the communities in the 1960s, 1970s. But everything fell apart of it when he was charged with child molestation and financial things and was sent to prison for 134 years. More knowledge, that we have that has been completely unfruitful. So let's do this countdown again. Political and social assimilation. Nothing has changed. Pan-African movement. None of it changed. Nation of Islam. That you say you went away from the Bible because it was a white man's book, but your founder in this country was a white man by the name of William Fard Muhammad. Nothing has changed. He disappeared. Nobody knows who he is. And last but not least, the Egyptology movement that was basically founded here in America by Dwight York, which is currently in prison right now serving charges on child molestation. So this is the knowledge that our people are taking in and rejecting this knowledge. So I hope that as we showed you those things, you will begin to have a heart and a mind for who you really are. Now, Jay, go in there and put in for them the picture of the slave trade. And as he put that link in there, I want to pull it up so you can see it. I want you to see exactly where we were taken from, so you can see it. The reason why, before I say this, let me preface this by saying this. A lot of our people were involved in this Egyptology stuff and the Pan-African movement because they only told us that they got it from Africa and they wouldn't be specific about where they got it from. So we tried to attach ourselves and connect ourselves to an entire continent. But the truth of the matter is they only got us from one particular place. And this is where they got us from. And you'll be able to find this on the link that we're putting into the box. As you can see here, that we only came from West Africa. Most of the slaves, the predominant slaves that were brought to the Americas, North and South America, and to all the islands, came from West Africa. Okay? He wasn't brought here from Egypt. There was no slave ship pulled up on the coast of Egypt. There were no slave ships that pulled up on the coast of Ethiopia or Sudan. That's not where you were brought from. All right, let's go to Luke 21. Let's go back to the Bible now. Now, what we're about to show you is how our people got to West Africa. We want to give you the historical evidence, and we're going to match it with the evidence that's in the Bible so that you don't think that one particular source is biased. Let's go to Luke 21. And we need you to see this here. Luke the 21st chapter. We're going to see how we initially got to the coast of Africa. Start at verse 20 there in Luke 21.
And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then you shall then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
All right, now, we in a sense we're trying to put in the cart before the horse, because I have to show you first that we got to West Africa for you to even believe anything that we're going to show you in the end. The last verses that we're going to go through today is we're going to show you that even before there was a such thing as a nation that enslaved us, the Most High told us that He was going to enslave us if we did not follow the law. But what I need to show you first is to prove historically that the people there in West Africa came from a particular place. And I need to show you, according to the Bible, how that even came about. Okay? Now, to say this briefly, because we thank you for your patience. We try not to go as long as we did last week, but we got to get all this in so you can fully understand it. The nation of Israel had failed Because of Solomon, if you go look in 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, the sins of Solomon caused Israel to split into two nations. The 10 tribes in the northern territory, which was Israel, and the southern territory, which was in Judea, which consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, parts of Levi. The other 10 tribes were in the northern nations. If you go do your research in 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, you will see that the nation of Assyria ran into Israel and overtook the country and took Israel out. They were scattered all over the world. That's another lesson for another time. We don't have time to dive into that. So the only people that were left in the land was the country of Judea, which was Judah, Benjamin, and parts of the tribe of Levi. Now, because of what the prophecies had told us, if we did not follow the commandments, we were going to lose the land. Right? So, Christ came on the scene, and he told them to be prepared. He's telling them that we fast forward to Christ in Judea. He's telling them in verse 20 that when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, desolation is near. All right, go to verse 21.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. Okay, so what he's saying is that when you see it, flee into the mountains. If you go pull up on your own time a map the biblical Israel, you would see that the mountains that in which he was talking about was the Atlas Mountains, which run into North Africa. See, you have to realize that back in biblical times, there was no such thing as the Middle East. This area, what they call the Middle East, was all Africa. All of it was considered Africa. But they don't tell you that is because the way they want to keep you distant from Israel is by making it seem like it was a whole other area than Africa. That's really what that is, okay? So, you see here, they're telling them to flee into the mountains. All right, go down to verse 23. 23 says, But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. Okay,
and then go to verse 24.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive unto all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Wow. Now, there's a mouthful in there, and I can't really even go into all of that, but I'm going to give it to you as quick as I can. Christ was telling his followers, and Jay, when you go in and put that link in, we're going to give you a historical reference. So for those who still doubt in the Bible, we're going to give you a